Fall's a great time to do it because you get the spooky season vibes, obviously. Hello my friends, welcome to my channel, Discover with Kim. I'm Kim, I'm so excited you're here with me today. Welcome to this week's book chat. This week we are going to be chatting about fall books. Let's get into some recommendations. Alright my friends, so as I mentioned, I'm going to be getting into some fall book recommendations today. I have it broken down into 3 different categories so you know what's coming. There's a couple of thriller novels, thriller books, there's a couple romance books, and then there's some fantasy romantasy books. So we're going to get right into it and we're going to start with some thriller books. In order to keep this video succinct and not too long, I picked my 3 favorites fall thrillers. So these are books to me that were really good thriller books. They kept me guessing, they kept me interested, they kept me coming back for more, and I feel like they really give a good fall vibe. So the first book is The It Girl by Ruth Ware. This book follows our main character. She went to Oxford University, and while she was there, she made friends with this girl. A year later, her friend was dead. They never found out who did it, and now it's a decade later. She has to return to the school for a type of reunion, and things are a little bit suspicious, and she's trying to figure out what actually happened to her friend. So I really enjoyed this book. I thought it was really gripping. It really had me interested to figure out who did it and had me guessing along the way. And I feel like it really gives off fall vibes because it's all about like academia. It's about going to Oxford, and it kind of describes what it's like being at Oxford. It's from when she's younger, when she's actually in college, and it's also a decade later when she's older. So I find that's really fun and interesting because you get the younger aspect and the little bit older aspect, but you still kind of get the academia part of it, and I really enjoyed this. So I thought this was a really great thriller. It really had me guessing. I'm a big fan of Ruth Ware, and I think it's a great read for fall. Next up is Final Girls by Riley Sager. This book is about the Final Girls. It's a group of women that were basically the final girls who survived a mass killing. So each of these women went through a mass killing, and they were the only girl that survived. Now they're dubbed the Final Girls, and they kind of know each other through a little bit of a support group. Our main character, she is living a life now. It is a decade later since what happened to her, and she's trying to just go on with her life and live a comfortable life, except one of the final girls ends up dead, and suddenly she realizes she can't go on with her normal life. She has to figure out what actually happened to her and what happened in this whole storyline for all these different final girls. And I thought it was so interesting. This is one of the first thriller mysteries I really got into it. It's back from 2017, so it's a little bit older, but this is one of the first thriller mysteries I really read. It's the first book I read by Riley Sager, and I remember I was absolutely obsessed, and I was so interested in it. I just wanted to keep picking it up and keep reading it, and I think it really had a good thriller kind of spooky vibe to it, which gives it a really great read for fall, and it really has you guessing, and I really thought it was a really good read. So that is my second thriller mystery recommendation. My final thriller mystery recommendation is a book that I actually just read, and that is The Sundown Motel by Simone St. James. This book is about the Sundown Motel and how things are not quite right there. Our female main character, her aunt disappeared 30 years ago from the Sundown Motel, never to be seen again. Now our main character, she wants to know what happened to her aunt, so she goes to the Sundown Motel. She takes her old job on night shift, and she tries to figure out what happened, except spooky things are happening. They're happening in the town, they're happening at the hotel, and she's really starting to freak out as she's trying to solve this case, and I really enjoyed this book. This book was so good. I actually just read this book a little bit ago in my blind reading mystery thrillers, and I'm so glad I picked this book because it was so good. It was so interesting. It had me interested the whole time. I wanted to keep picking up and reading it, and like I said, if it's not obvious, if a book has me thinking about it when I'm not reading, if it has me wanting to go pick it up and read it, to me that means it's a good book. It has good writing, and this book definitely had that. I really enjoyed this. I think it's a great fall read because it's definitely spooky. It definitely toys in the paranormal a little bit, or it might, you're not really sure, but it toys around with the idea of the paranormal, and also toys around with serial killers, and has a lot of strong women, and it jumps back and forth between different timelines, and it was really interesting, and I absolutely loved it. So my final thriller mystery rec is The Sundown Motel. Let's move on to some romances. I picked 4 romances that I think would be great for you guys to read in the fall time. The first one is a cozy romance. So that for me is The Pumpkin Spice Cafe by Lori Gilmore. This book is so sweet. Our female main character, she inherits her aunt's Pumpkin Spice Cafe. Her aunt retires, So nothing sad there. Her aunt retires, and a female main character, she inherits the cafe. So she moves to this small town, and she ends up meeting our male main character, who is the farmer in the small town, and who has quite the amount of issues himself, and they end up having to team up together to try and figure out who's messing with her cafe and if she maybe has a ghost. And it's a really, really sweet story, and there's a lot of really fun banter, and the setting was just a perfect fall setting in a small town, and all the characters were wonderful. And I love this book. This is the first in a series. This one is based in fall, and it is absolutely a perfect fall romance cozy. Yes, just everything about this was yes. So if you're looking for a fall cozy romance, the Pumpkin Spice Cafe is that book for you. Now, other than cozy romance, when I think about fall and I think about romance, I think about dark romances. So I have 3 dark romance series that I recommend for you. For me, I have read the first 2. I've only read the first book. The next one, I have read the 2 books that are out so far. So I just want to put that out there. I recommend at least the first book in this series. I can't tell you the rest. The first one is Her Soul to Take by Harley LaRue. This book is actually part of a trilogy. As I stated, I've only read the first one. This one, our female main character, she is a college student, and she accidentally unleashes a demon that starts to stalk her a little bit. It says she unleashed an irresistible darkness, a soul-hungry demon who might be her only chance at survival. It's really good, and it's really fun, and it's really dark, and if you're looking for a good way to ease into dark romance, I highly recommend this one as a good way to step into dark romance. And like I said, fall and dark romance just go hand in hand. My next dark romance recommendation is Lights Out by Navessa Allen. This book is a stalker romance. A female main character, she's an ER nurse. A male main character, he is an mask online man. Our female main character actually is a fan of him online. When he finds this out, he ends up becoming a little bit obsessed with her, and he starts to stalk her. And I will say that I did not know I was into stalker romances until I started reading this book, and suddenly I was like, oh, I guess I'm a stalker romance girly. And I really, really enjoyed it. I loved the character development in this. I loved the storyline. I loved that something big happens and they have to team up together, and like it helps them bond, and it's definitely a dark romance storyline, and I thought it was really good, really interesting. But the banter in it was really great. And yeah, another way to ease you into dark romance if you're looking for more of a stalker Tank, stop. Sorry if you can hear my dog being a menace. If you're looking to ease into stalker romances or more of a dark romance, absolutely recommend Lights Out because it was wonderful. Come say hi. This one. This is the menace. This is the menace. Do you want to show me rave? Do you want to show him how you rave? Yeah, is this how you rave? Yeah? Okay. Sit down if you want to help. Nope, he doesn't want to help. Okay. And my final romance, dark romance recommendation is Butcher and Blackbird by Brynne Weaver. Oh, I will say, so I did read number 2 in this series so far. There's only 2 out. I read number 2 in this one. That one is called Caught Up. I'm kind of just recommending the whole series here. So like, read Lights Out, and if you like it, then go check out Caught Up. Butcher and Blackbird by Brynne Weaver is number 1 in a trilogy. I've read this one. I have not read the other 2 yet. This one is a serial killer romance. So if you're looking for more of a serial killer romance, this one's for you. This one is really a great way to get into that kind of stuff because it is a fun romance. There's a lot of yearning in it, and I really enjoyed the character development in this. I thought that the banter was pretty funny. I like that there were serial killers and you kind of got like a good dark aspect of that. I thought that was really, really fun, and I think it's enjoyable. So if you're looking for more of that kind of dark romance, highly recommend this book, and then maybe check out the rest of the series. I do think they're a little bit different, but I'm not quite sure. I haven't read them yet. Started the second one. But anyways, Butcher and Blackbird, serial killer romance, definitely a good one if you're looking for dark romance. Like I said, all of these I recommend for fall because for me, like, fall is just dark romance central, you know? It's just like a great time to really dig into a dark romance, especially if you're just trying to get into them for the first time. Like, fall's a great time to do it because you get the spooky season vibes, obviously. Okay, let's move these recs aside and let's go to our fantasy novel recs. So the first one is a series. They are standalone interconnected books. They are Go Hex Yourself and What the Hex by Jessica Clark. Go Hex Yourself comes first in the series. This one, our female main character, she answers an ad in the paper for a job and she thinks it's for her favorite card game, but it's actually for a real life witch. So she ends up working for this witch who is very eccentric, very out there, and she has this nephew, this warlock, who is so infuriating, and our female main character absolutely hates him, and she ends up having to work with him and be around him so much, and romance starts to ensue. And I love this book. If you're looking for like a cozy, witchy, fun fall romantasy, go hex yourself, because I really enjoyed this book. I thought it was so fun, and I thought it was really light and fluffy. It's not too heavy, there's not too much to it. It's just like a really fun romance, witchy romantasy, and I really enjoyed it. And then What the Hex is an enemies to lovers, which you know I'm all about the enemies to lovers. Our female main character, she has wanted to be a familiar to a witch or a warlock for her entire life, but she's never actually made it because she's in the society and she has to wait for her turn, blah 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 blah, until a warlock who's actually been banned comes, and he's in need of a familiar, so he asks her to do it. Well, he gets to help him, and he finds our female main character who decides, yeah, maybe I will break the law of the society and work for this guy because then I get to be a familiar. And they're enemies. She does not like him, but she really wants this job, and it's great. It's really great. Honestly, I love both of these. If you want cozy, witchy romances, fantasies, all of that, give these a go. Give them a go. Next up is Immortal Consequences by Ivy Marie. I will be talking about this book constantly. It is one of my favorites of the year so far, so buckle up for it. This book is a dark academia. It is a young adult fantasy. It follows 6 different characters. They are all stuck at Blackwood Academy, which is basically a purgatory where there are students there and they have to reap souls, and every 10 years there's a decennial, and in this decennial one student gets the chance to basically either move on to the afterlife or graduate up and be an elite at this academy. And in this year's decennial, it's actually a competition. So this book follows 6 of the students in that competition. You get 6 viewpoints, and it's really so good. I loved it. It's really fast paced and it keeps you questioning. There's a bunch of different twists in it, and it's really enjoyable. And I just absolutely love this book. And I think the fact that they're like stuck in this purgatory and they're reaping souls and they're in this dark competition and this dark academia, all of that just kind of combined makes for a great fall read. So if you're into dark academia, if you're into fantasy, this is a young adult fantasy, so there is world building, but it's not so heavy that it's like ridiculously in depth and hard to read. I love that. It was a fast read. It was really interesting. It was really quick pace, and yeah, definitely recommend this for fall. Next up is number 1 in a duology. Number 2 I have not read yet, so I cannot recommend that one. But number 1 is Phantasma by Kaylee Smith. Phantasma only has 2 rules: stay alive and don't fall in love. Our main character, when her mother died, she inherited all the magic of the family, and basically she realized she had to take care of the family, herself, and her sister. However, as she's trying to do that, her sister decides to try and pay off a debt alone by entering a competition, Phantasma. So our main character has to go into this competition after her sister to try and save her. Now the victor of this competition is granted 1 wish, and the only way for our main character to save her sister is to win. In order to win, she has to team up with our main male character, who is part of the game, and a romance kind of ensues, and it's definitely a dark romance. It's definitely kind of gory, and I absolutely loved it. I thought it was so interesting. I thought it was so fun. I loved the way the storyline went. I loved the way that the romance went. I think it's obviously a great read for fall. And Miss Quinn! Now Miss Quinn is playing with toys. I live in a zoo. But I think it's a great read for fall because it has like this competition in a haunted house, that just screams fall book. So if you're into fantasy and romantasy and you don't mind a little bit of gore and you don't mind a little bit of disturbing things and you like some fun competitions, give Phantasma a try because it was fantastic. I hate myself for saying that. Next up is a duology, and that is The Coven and the Curse by Harper L. Woods. This book follows our female main character. She is a witch, and when she was younger, an attack came and brutally took out her entire coven. She's the last one left, and she's been raised to go and get revenge for this. So she ends up going to Hallows Grove University to accomplish this, and she meets the headmaster there, Alaric Gray, who, lots of things seem suspicious, and there's some romance, and yeah, it's pretty good. And this book ends on a cliffhanger that is continued in this book, so we're not going to talk too much about it, but there was a lot happening in these books, and they were really good, and I was shocked by a lot of twists. So if you're into witches, if you're into fantasy, if you're into like academia and some romance and some twists and all of that kind of stuff, give these a go because they're really good, they're really interesting. And this one definitely has a pact of convenience, so they have to work together out of convenience, but there's romance that ensues. Like basically they're enemies to lovers. Yes, very much enemies to lovers is the whole trope. So lots of enemies to lovers, lots of witchiness, lots of goodness. Love it. I don't think I really need to explain why it's fall, which is dark, academia, all of that fun stuff. And then speaking of witches, our final duology for this video of recommendations is Heartless Hunter and Rebel Witch, the Crimson Moss duology by Kristen Cicerelli. This is another enemies to lovers duology. It is about a witch and a witch hunter, so a little bit of a different twist here. This is about a witch and a witch hunter, and in the first book they end up both pretending to seduce each other to try and get information that they need, and in the second book basically there's big betrayals and they kind of hate each other, but they have to work together again, and they're really good. I've seen mixed reviews on these books and thoughts on them, and I honestly thought it's a really good duology. If you pair them together, I really enjoy them. I love that you get dual viewpoints. I love that it's witch and witch hunter. I love that they're enemies to lovers, but they both have like their own needs, and they both have all these other people and these other groups that they belong to and that they have loyalty to, and so they have to decide, are they going to follow their heart? Are they going to stick with their morals? What are they going to do? And I loved that they had to grapple with that, and they had to go through things, and how they had to go through these traumas, and they had to grow, and they had to heal, and they had to become different people, and I really liked them. I thought they were really good, and I think A Witch and a Witch Hunter is a fantastic fantasy romantasy duology for the fall. So there we go. My final 2 books in my fall recommendations. Alright, we picked them up just for you guys. So here's all the books that I recommend you read for fall. They're just some fun ones, just some ones that I really enjoyed and that I think you guys will enjoy. I think they had really great storylines. I think they were interesting. They had good twists. They wanted me to pick them up and keep reading them, and they all just gave me that fall vibe, and that's really important to me. I'm such a mood reader, so they have to get the good vibe for me, and these all just give me such a fall vibe. So if you're looking for books with fall vibes, these are your jam, friends. These are your jam. I tried to be good. Anyways, with that being said and that falling over, that is my cue to say thank you guys so much for being here and for watching this video this week. I hope you guys enjoyed these fall book recs. Let me know what fall book recs you have down in the comments down below. Please, I would love more recs for fall and any recs you have for winter so I can start prepping for my winter reads. I'm so excited. So yes, fall book recs, winter book recs. Let me know if you've read any of these books and your thoughts on them. No spoilers, please. And let me know what you are reading this week. And if you can hear mittens in the background scratching, I live in a zoo. I'm so glad you guys were here this week. I hope you get some good reading done. I hope you really enjoy all the fall vibes, and I can't wait to see you next time. Live well, read some books, and go discover, my friends. Bye. But they're such good books.